Kim.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Bishop, I wanted to start with you. I guess I was concerned by what I just heard in terms of your previous response. So you believe that the firings that have happened and the layoffs that have happened, you said that they are not indiscriminate?
Yes, Senator Kim, I don't believe that President Trump or the people at PPO or the folks who are around or in the White House policy-making operation would proceed in a way that is indiscriminate with respect to.
So in terms of the fire, I mean, we were seeing firing based off of status of being probationary, both in terms of new hires as well as probationary also includes those that have been recently promoted and they are new in that position because they've been promoted into that. And we've seen mass layoffs of that status because frankly, I guess it's, easier to be able to fire them. You don't consider that to be indiscriminate?
Senator, I do not. The folks who are advising the president have made points about believing that the federal employee workforce is not at the right size. It needs to be right size.
So when we were seeing the National Nuclear Security Administration, we're seeing hundreds fired there, later to be reinstated. I mean, did that not seem like that was indiscriminate initially? And then they realized, hey, look, that actually probably the nuclear functions of the United States is important. I mean, we're seeing just the level in which this is happening. Do you think that was an appropriate move to initially fire them?
I think the president has spoken directly to that, or spokespeople for the president have, that in the course of making changes, you may find that you need to then move in the other direction to make an adjustment after you've made the first change. In my view, Senator, that doesn't make it indiscriminate.
Mr. Edgar, I guess I'd like to turn to you and just get a sense, what was the reasoning for the firing of 130 employees at the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency?
Yeah, as a senior advisor, I wasn't responsible for that. But I guess what I would say, just as a response, is if you look at this outside of federal government, the process that you're talking about whether we're being indiscriminate or not, I mean, this is something that all Fortune 500 companies do. To me, this does not seem out of the norm. And you would normally go to reflect on more junior people, especially if you had to make a head cut reduction and you needed to be able to go through a process to be able to get to that. So to me, this seemed totally logical.
Well, I guess what I'm just trying to think that we have incredibly important procedures going forward. So for instance, the Cyber Safety Review Board under DHS was revoked. The membership there revoked. Yeah. You think that was a good idea?
I do. I think it was a great idea.
You think it was a great idea, even though that is the board that is overseeing the investigation on Salt Typhoon? Explain that.
Like I said, I didn't make the decision to do it, but I think it was a great idea. I think that CISA has overstepped its boundaries and authorities. I think it needs to be reeled in, and it starts with that steering committee. I think they need to be reconstituted.
So who is conducting the investigation on Salt Typhoon right now at DHS?
CISA.
CISA's doing it. So they've taken over the review of the Cyber Safety Review Board?
Well, at this point, that review board will be reconstituted at the right time, but as an organization, it continues with its priorities set.
Well, if it's going to be reconstituted, why was it decommissioned to start with? Well, at least why were the members taken off?
Like I said, I thought it was decommissioned because it was going in the wrong direction. It starts with the leadership there.
I wanted to just switch gears here, Mr. Edgar. I guess I wanted to just get your response, just have you on record when it comes to the temporary protected status. We've seen the revoking of that for Haiti, for Venezuela. I guess I just want to ask you, do you not believe that consideration of safety of individuals is something that we, as the United States, should take into account when we're thinking about how to proceed with legal pathways to immigration?
I think temporary protective status is just that, temporary. I think the Secretary reserves the right and the opportunity to go in and look at what the policies are, either for Venezuela or Haiti. And I think the Secretary has taken appropriate action to make sure that she reserves her opportunity, that Secretary Mayorkas had really pushed up and really kind of overdid what his authority was. And I think we're just putting more options on the table for the Secretary to make her decision.
When it comes to FEMA, in the past you've called it a great organization, great people, their mission drives their organization at all levels. What we're seeing at USAID and other aspects of the federal government, should we expect that at FEMA? Are we going to see a rapid abolishment of FEMA?
I think I would agree with the president. I think we need to reevaluate what the direction is that we're going to go with FEMA. It's got a lot of issues that need to be dealt with structurally. As you know, it's structured in two different ways: the disaster recovery fund and the non-disaster recovery.
Yeah. So just here at the end, I guess I just want to say, and we talked about this, is like I think everyone here understands there needs to be reforms when it comes to FEMA. What has been happening hasn't been working. I say this from New Jersey, crushed by hurricanes, problems on that front. But I really do urge you and the Secretary, and I've talked about this before with her, that try for us to have a bipartisan approach to this. Work with this committee to try to address it. If we see just a quick gutting of it, it's just going to leave American people unsafe, insecure when it comes to disasters that can affect every aspect of this country. And with that, I'll yield back.
Thank you.